Major brawls erupting in the city of Berkeley, California. Hundreds of pro and anti-Trump protesters lashing out. Police and riot gear making at least 15 arrests.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Center. In today's video, we will be taking a look at some of the most savage protest moments. But first, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and much more. Click that bell notification too, so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, let's get right into this video. Number 1, we start things off with a protest that happened in 2021 in New York City. This incident happened during a George Floyd protest, which turned extremely ugly. Some protesters clashed with police, and all hell broke loose pretty quickly. As you'll see in this clip, police are hitting protesters and pinning them on the ground, and some protesters are hitting the cops too. It was complete and utter chaos out there. There was even a cop that pushed a protester off their feet and made some of the other protesters really angry, so they tried to retaliate too. Both sides were well and truly in a huge war. Number 2. Now we have another George Floyd protest, but this time it was in Minneapolis, and this was insane with this one. Minneapolis was literally up in flames. The protest was mostly directed toward the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis, and there was a huge standoff and battle between the protesters and the police.
The 3rd precinct of the Minneapolis Police Department on fire.
Police were guarding the precinct and started shooting some flares at the police, even the ones that were being peaceful, while there were some other protesters that started thrashing the precinct and eventually setting it on fire. Even some shops and buildings nearby caught in the crossfire and found themselves burning too. Number 3. Now, we have some incredible scenes from a protest in Oakland that happened in May of 2020. Things escalated a whole lot as there were some protesters that started breaking into stores and vandalizing everything in there, burning them down, breaking windows, and there were some opportunistic people even looting the stores. As you saw from the clip, there was even a whole car that was on fire. It looked like a very fancy one too. They were even breaking into banks and just causing as much carnage and chaos as possible, and they did a pretty good job at that. It was absolute madness out there. Number 4. Now we have a protest that happened in Berkeley, California, and things went pretty damn pear-shaped quite quickly. During the protest, a huge brawl broke out between some Trump supporters and anti-Trump supporters. They were really going at it. Police were able to intervene and arrest about 15 people that were involved.
Major brawls erupting in the city of Berkeley, California. Hundreds of pro and anti-Trump protesters lashing out. Police and riot gear making at least 15 arrests.
As you can tell from the clips, those were some very intense brawls, and there were hundreds of protesters right in the thick of it. They were protesting because people were demanding that Trump release his tax returns. There were many other cities taking part in the protest too, but Berkeley was one of them that got completely out of hand. Number 5. Next, we have a protest in Athens, Greece, which saw some protesters clashing with police. The protesters were actually throwing out some firebombs at the police while the police tried firing back with some tear gas. It caused a lot of smoke and numerous sounds and explosions and fires around the street of Athens. The battle between the protesters and the police went on for a while, and there were many battles taking place all around the city. Some police were able to chase protesters down and arrest them, but for the most part, they were all throwing projectiles at each other. The protesters were showing their discontent over an education bill. Number 6. We end things off with a protest in Seattle that got crazy when one of the protesters set a police car on fire. In the end, there were loads of cars that were set on fire. From then on, there was a lot of looting and a lot more chaos. Those were some of the really insane protests. Which one do you think was the craziest? Let us know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for tuning into today's video. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Hit that bell notification too so you don't miss out on any future videos. But for now, we will see you in the next video, and please take care.